Welcome back to another episode. This is kind of a continuation to when we drained the fuel tank on the gray Audi and the fuel gauge was stuck on full. So we're going to actually access the fuel pump and try and knock it loose. We're going to try that first before we try and open it, just because we use the scan tool and there are no faults with the fuel gauge wiring. There's no wiring faults that it can pull up. So we're just going to try the easiest, simplest way possible first. If that doesn't work, then we'll actually pull the pump out and see if anything's wrong with the measuring level stick. So first thing, you'll need access to the back seat, and the fuel pump is on the passenger side for the US models. And this one does not have fold down seats. I don't know if that makes a difference, but if you just reach underneath the seat on this side and the other side and just pull up, it will release, and it just kind of wiggles out. Your seatbelt latches will come out and this just goes free. And this reveals a couple of things. One to note is the fuel pump, cover for the fuel pump. And the other one is actually the emergency trunk release. If you don't have the fold down seats and the battery's dead, you can't open your trunk. That is a lever that will pop your seats or your trunk open with no power. All right, so we just need a Phillips head to remove this cover. We'll give it a couple taps and see if that works. So fuel pump cover, we got our fuel lines, we got our power unit, sending unit, and of course the fuel line itself. So I've got a rubber mallet here. I'm just gonna give it a few taps. And I just heard something drop. So that may have fixed it. So let's turn the car on real quick and see if the gauge has changed. So beeping aside, I see the gauge has still not moved, so that did not fix it. But while I'm up here in the passenger seat, I'm going to reach back, give it a few more taps, and see if anything changes. It did not. So now we're going to take the fuel pump out, see if anything else has fallen off, broken loose, or laying sideways. So ideally you want to release fuel pressure, and since I just had the car running, there's going to be a bit of fuel pressure in there. I'm going to see if I can get away with not having to remove that, but we got to take plugs off, 1 and 2, and then this is quite fun to get off, so I've got my mallet and a hammer, and we're just going to kind of wedge the top off. So it is spring loaded, and looks like something is knocked off in there. So you can see down in there, there's like a little, unplug this again. There's a white bottle down there that has fallen off, and the level sensor was stuck on top of it. So I'm going to try and pull that piece out. filter, and this actually attaches right up here. So let's reattach that. Alright, got that back into where it's going to push right back down. Now we're going to check if the fuel level sensor still works. And I've got the fuel line disconnected, but I've also got the pump disconnected, so it won't prime on us and spray fuel everywhere. And there we go. It's now reading accurately with an empty tank like it's actually got. Alright, so that solved our problem. It was just stuck. The level sensor was just stuck inside the tank at full. So reinstall is just opposite direction, push it back down, make sure all the tabs line up, tighten the cap back down, use your mallet and screwdriver to actually get it locked into place, reconnect your fuel line, reconnect your power lines, and then give it a test, make sure everything works before you put your seat back down. Thanks for watching.